I am not a religious man, but I can prove to you, right now, that you believe in God. There was once a German guy called Freddy, who in 1882 famously said that God is dead. By Freddy's time, people had started to lose their Christian faith, and he said that this would spread until Christianity was finished. He said that this would lead to a moral decline. If you don't believe that we're losing our morality, then go on social media for 10 minutes and count every time you come across something overly sexualized. You see, love it or hate it, the West was built on Christian morals and ethics. About 50 years after Freddy, the psychologist Carl Jung said that we each have a shared unconscious mind, which controls a lot of our behaviour, and he used the example of the gods to prove this. Jung said that a god is anything which we idolise beyond ourselves to try to live up to and become. In other words, the gods are a system of values. In fact, he said that most of human societies have been built around key values, just like the West was with Christianity. A value is something which must come from within ourselves because otherwise we would not identify with it. The fact that a group of people can build a society around the same value system is Jung's proof that we are all connected through our unconscious minds. Now, for years, rational thinking people have told us that the gods do not exist. But that doesn't mean that the gods vanish, because how can human values just simply disappear? Instead, what has happened is that we've become unconscious of the gods, which means we don't even know what some of our values are. And if we don't know what we value, then we could unknowingly turn our world into something very ugly indeed. Jung said that for a while we will live in the echoes left behind from Christianity. He said a new god will need to replace the old one, and this god could either be good or bad. However, Jung died before the new god was born. I believe that we now have a new, powerful, baby god. I call the new god the image, the ever-changing image which you just have to keep up with. Its Bible is social media, which is full of moral outrage. Its hymns and chants are the worn-out memes and phrases we always see. Its priests are the celebrities who are made strong by the power you put into them. Its altar is of course the selfie, where judgment is passed for good or bad, and nothing and no one is immune. You worship the image with your body by changing your words, actions and appearance to please it. Like all gods, the image is invisible, and this is a major strength, and if for a moment a person has the perfect image, then they will have to keep up to match its ever-changing, shallow identity. Morals left over from the previous god will now form part of the image. We can see this happening already, and we even have a phrase to describe it. Saying I can be anything I want to be may result in me living in a fantasy. If my bubble does burst, then I could find myself in a deep psychological crisis. This is when the image stops being a god and starts to become a demon. Even our businesses and charities need to have the image. Slogans like "a vision for the future" are often churned out to make our organisations look holy. Your professional life also needs the image. Just take a look at the LinkedIn generation. Now, different groups of people have their own interpretations of the image, yet no group is ever fully satisfied in their attempts to represent it. Because of recent political events, we hear that views are becoming more polarised. Is this because our political image is becoming more important and defined, and that anything which opposes our political image, including of course other people's political image, has to be removed from the face of the earth? Jung would say that the image is the shadow of the rational mind, because the rational mind has confused symbols with reality. The old god was definitely masculine. However, Ariana Grande is right, the image is feminine. I could go on and on about the image archetype and how it affects so much of our society already. And remember, it is still only a baby. But this video is to simply make you aware of your own value system. If you've had enough of the image, then do not despair. There is something much greater and more worthwhile to pursue. Bringing your attention to the gods and their relationship to our rational minds is where it all begins. Consider these uncertain times to instead be a great opportunity. I will make further videos with more details about the image, but for now, get to know your new god. And don't be deceived, it is a god, and you have already worshipped it. The gods are very powerful indeed. The last god inspired Western civilization to be made. What would this god have us do? Should we allow it?